Okay. Sorry students for delaying, and that anything is remaining in poem, beta? Anything is remaining in poem?
No, sir. Except
No, sir.
Which is the writing? Which is the writing? Have you a worksheet here?
Sir, report
Which
writing.
is writing?
Yes, sir.
Report. Okay. So you know how to write a report, right? You know that thing, how to write a report. So report writing means what? It's not 7th A, just tell me dear, it's the 8th A. Right, it is an 8th A. Report writing. Now what is the report? First of all tell me, what is the report? Anyone have idea? What is the report? Anyone have idea what is the meaning of report? Bhumi?
Sir, detailed information about any data or research.
Number one is also right. Detailed research. Then, but we have to discuss about writing, report writing. So, report, we know that is published in newspaper. Right? This report, it means that published in a newspaper, either is a happy or sad. Right? Either is happy or sad. Second thing, it is a formal writing or informal writing. It is a formal writing or informal writing.
Formal writing.
Yes, it is a formal. It is a formal writing. Okay? It is a formal writing. Right? Then, next. To whom we write? To newspaper editor. Then, who wrote this letter? So, secretary, right, of the society, secretary of that one can say cultural committee, they present this report writing. They present that report writing. Okay, everyone? This thing understood? Do you understand this thing?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, the structure that I share with you. The structure that I share with you. It means format. What we have to include in report writing. So, number one, date. Number one, date. 2, place, free, event, right, for body, and fifth one is name. It means who wrote the report, you have to write down his name. Second, we use past tense, but which past? That is simple past. It is a simple past tense. Now you know that in your Facebook, right, what are the competitions that we organize, right? So we also give one write-up and then after photographs and all these things. Am I right or wrong? Am I right
Yes,
or wrong?
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Now that, right, we publish this thing that is in simple past tense. That is in simple past tense. Okay? Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, beta?
Yes, sir.
Have an idea? Okay. What is the first writing in your worksheet? What is the first writing in your worksheet? Hello. What is the first writing in your worksheet? Have you a worksheet or not? Anyone have their his or her worksheet? Tell
Yes,
me.
sir. Wait a minute. Yes, sir. Report
What is-
writing. The Culture Society, Sunshine Public School, Herald organizing an adult literature paper in his neighborhood. Write a report in 150 or 200 words on a camp for your school newsletter. You and PV Sunitha, secretary.
Okay. It means that you have to write a report on adult literacy camp. Right? You have to write a report on adult literacy camp. But before I will start this thing, you have to draw this thing or write in your notebook. I mute myself and I'll come. Right? Do this thing, I'll come within. So, you know that you have to write a report on literacy camp. But I will share a PDF, but I want to share one example with you. I want to share one example with you. Did you write this thing? Did you write this
Yes,
thing,
sir.
beta?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, here I will share one example of the report on the investiture ceremony. Right? The report on the investiture ceremony. Right? Now suppose we think that if you want to write a name here who published this report, so you can write here name, right? Because you have to write the title at the center of the page. Then after we write down the name of the publisher, suppose here this writer, suppose Neha is the cultural convener in our school, right? So what we can say the PR also. So we wrote here Neha Sangvi, right? Neha Sangvi. Now suppose date we have to wrote here. So which date we have to publish? Which date we have to organize? So we have to write down. Remember, whenever you will write a report, date should be 1 day previous. Right? Date should be, you have to write in past tense. Don't write today's date. Because when you write today's date, it means today your event is not over. That's why we have to write after the completion of the event and next day's newspaper our report published. That's why I said that we have to write down yesterday's date. So what is the yesterday's date? So 2nd August 2021. This is the date. Then after, if you want to start with some quoted line, some quotation line, so you can start with that because it is investiture ceremonies. So we start this from the margin. Leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality. It is our quotation line. It is our quotation line. Then after, directly start that the investiture ceremony of Neura public school for the academic session 2020-22 was held with great pomp and dignity. Right? You start in this way. Then says that it was a special ceremony in the school, at the school sport ground. It means we have to include the place also. Which year, which school, and which date, and which year, and which place. These three things you have to write in your first paragraph. Understood this thing, beta? Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, who was the chairman who organized this event? The event was presided over by the chairman of Hardik Padalia sir, the MD of New Era Public School, and the school principal. Right? See, this was, and it was the conduct with the high degree of the earnestness and passion. See, this in first paragraph, just you have to include. Second paragraph, what you have to use. Right? So what is the thing you have to see in this event? What happened in that event? you have to write this thing. Suppose this investiture ceremony signifies the reliance and confidence that the school consigns the newly invested office barriers and doning to the mental accountability, and they also pledge back to their duties in the best of their abilities. We believe that centric approach will frame the responsible citizen. Right? Then after, what you have to see, right? So the function started with the march past of the different house. Right? In our school, in New York Public School, there are 4 houses: Akash, Agni, Prithvi, and Vayu. Right? The function started with march past. Right? So in front of them, the head boy and head girl of the school, sports captain, boys and girls, both walk first. Then after, back the house captain, right? The house captain of the Akash house gave command to his group. They start. Then after Prithvi, then after Agni, Prithvi and Vayu start this thing. They show their passion, their enthusiasm, right? They walk like a military. Then after, and reach and complete their march past. Then after, what? So, the house masters of the 4 houses, right? Male and female, both were badge, both were got one badge from the different authorities like principal, like MD, principal and trustees. Then all the house masters gave the badges to their house captains. The other teachers gave the badges and sachet to their rest of the person. It means they are a PRO, editor, cultural and sports captain, right? And then after, they took an oath that they will do their duty very well. And what happened last one? That we completed our event with the our trustee gave a speech on investiture ceremony, and he put a hope on all the houses that they gave their performance best. They will give their performance best. And last one, that we completed our event with our national anthem. Understood this thing? Understood?
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is your report writing. Now tell me, anyone has a doubt in report writing? Anyone have a doubt in report writing?
No, sir. No, sir.
Sure? Sure, beta, that you have a no doubt?
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, wait a minute. So students, I hope you understand this thing. Anyone has a doubt in report writing? Anyone has a doubt in report writing?
No, sir.
Okay, now listen. See beta, here I complete my report writing explanation, right? First of all, I want to tell you that our syllabus 2 chapter over, 1 poem and 1 chapter. Chapter 4 and 1 poem is over. Now the 5th chapter, that today I will just give the brief introduction of this chapter, right? Today I will give just brief introduction of chapter. Chapter 5. What is the name of the chapter 5? What is the name of chapter 5?
A day the viceroy came.
A day but viceroy came? I think not.
One day the viceroy came.
Wait a minute, beta. One day I think not. The day the viceroy comes. Yes. The day the viceroy came, not come. It's a came. And these chapters, right, this story, it was written by R.K. Lakshman. See beta, there are 3 Indian English writers. Number 1 is R.K. Lakshman, then R.K. Narayan, I think Narayan, Malgudi Days writer, and third I forgot the name of that writer. These are the 3 famous writers.
Sir,
in
Ruskin
English.
Bond.
No. Ruskin Bond is okay, but these 3 writers, R.K. Narayan, R.K. Lakshman, and third one I think Swaminathan. Right? These 3 writers, that basically they are belong from India, but they are Indian English writers. They are Indian English writers. Because in his writing, he presents the Indian society. He presents the Indian society. Now from this chapter, right, from this title, you get the idea. It means when he wrote this chapter, that time he was he was elder. He was might be 40-50 years, right? But also says that what? That it means the time he present in this chapter, it means that time was the Britishers' time in our country. See beta, he says that was an Indian cartoonist and illustrator, and he created daily comic strip, you said it, which chronicled Indian life and politics through the eyes of common men. Right? Lakshman wrote numerous short stories, essays, travel articles, some of which appeared in The Distorted Mirror. He also wrote the novels The Hotel Riberia and The Messenger and the autobiography The Tunnel of Time. Right, he wrote this. And even you know that beta, he died before 6 years ago. He died before 6 years ago only. It means his age was 94 years. In 2015, he was died. Right? So here you have to do this thing, you have to learn that in this chapter you see that how the school were instructed in Britishers' time. Right? How the school were instructed and how the schools were instructing in Britishers' time. How did they prepare all these things? Right? the condition, the situation, how the teachers feel proud, right? All these things you have to learn from this chapter, right? So first of all, you have to write down objectives. Write down the objectives of the chapter. Do you understand or not, dear? First of all, tell me. Do you understand or not?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Do you understand or not?
Understand, sir.
Say first one, to introduce students to stories by R.K. Lakshman. Right? Second, to help familiarize with Indian writing. Right? Then, to understand the story from a child's perspective. And fourth one, to identify the sequence of events in each text. Right? These four things you have to write down in your notebook. So to introduce the students to stories by R.K. Lakshman, right? Now here you will know about how R.K. Lakshman wrote a story. That's why you got the introduction that in his story, what is the elements he used. Second, to help the familiarize with the Indian writing. While you will read this story, so you will get the idea of that how the Indian writers write their stories. To understand the story from the child's perspective, as a child's mind, what is their perspective? You have to understand this story, and to identify the sequence of the events in the text, and whatever the sequence in this event, you have to learn from this chapter. Okay, students? So, did you write this thing? Did you write this thing?
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
If you
Yes,
don't
sir,
write, take a screenshot. Take a
Yes,
screenshot
sir.
if your work is this complete. Shall I off my camera?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, here are introduction, right? From tomorrow, not on Thursday, right? We have a lecture. That time I will start with the stories, with the story that what is the things that you have to learn from this chapter, right? So all these things that you will see from this book. Okay, students? Bye-bye, everyone. No,
Yes,
don't bye. I want to take your attendance. Wait for a minute. Okay. So everyone, bye-bye. Take care.